You know, there's been many shark films within so many years, and the sad thing is there's only two legitimate good ones. And this is not one of them. Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again, and today we're going to review 47 Meters Down. So 47 Meters Down stars Mandy Moore and Claire Holt, and what this film is basically about. It's about these two sisters. They get into this cage, and basically they just go to look at some, fish and some sharks and stuff. But what happens is the chain breaks. And now they are 47 meters down below the ocean, and they basically need to try and survive. So so basically people can rescue them, but the main problem is that there's sharks around, and they basically just need to survive. So what did I think of 47 Meters Down? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, the shark genre is really it's really overstayed its welcome. I feel like ever since Jaws, all these shark movies have tried really hard. Even the Jaws sequels tried really hard. They try so hard. But what these shark movies forget, with Jaws, what worked with that movie wasn't the shark, it was the characters. And that's what every shark movie forgets to do, is, actually have some good characters. Last year we had The Shallows, and that was actually a great shark movie. That was definitely by far the best shark movie since Jaws. And what worked with that movie? Well, the main character was actually good. It didn't focus on the shark all that much, really. It was mostly about Blake Lively's character. And that's what made it work so much, and it was actually enthralling, that movie. However, here with 47 Meters Down, they do not do that at all, because 47 Meters Down is pretty bad. It really is. I did not enjoy 47 Meters Down. It's a pretty bad film, honestly. Because the biggest problems with this movie are the characters and the story. The characters are terrible. Honestly, they're really awful. And the story is just bland and boring. It's not interesting. Oh, man, but before I talk about what's, the bad about this movie, let's talk about the good. So let's get into my positives with the film, because I do have positives. And my positives are, first being, I thought the guy that played Captain Taylor, although he's not in the film all that much, but whenever he is, in the film, it seemed like he was the only one that was trying to give an acting performance and wasn't trying to act over the top all the time. So, yeah, he was really the only good actor in the film, and I did enjoy him in the movie. Whenever he was on screen and whatever, he was pretty good. And I thought he was the only one that was trying to give an actual acting performance. There were some tension moments, there were some good feels of tension and suspense in the film. There were some moments like that I thought were pretty solid, and I thought they were pretty good. And lastly, the directing wasn't too bad with this movie. I thought the directing wasn't really necessarily that bad with the film. I thought it was, it was pretty solid. It really, the director did a good job of making it feel like, you're trapped inside this cage with these characters below the ocean and whatever. And he did a pretty solid job with that, I thought. Editing wasn't too bad for the most part. Cinematography wasn't really that bad either. So, yeah, the directing wasn't really too bad with the movie. It's not that bad a directed of a film. So yeah, the directing's pretty solid, and that's really about it in terms of positives with this movie. So let's just get into the negatives, because there are some negatives with this film, and the negatives are, first being, the characters are absolutely terrible. They really are. The characters are just absolutely awful. The acting for both Mandy Moore and Claire Holt are terrible. They act so over the top in this movie. They really do. They act so over the top, so over dramatic. They really do. Just really, they overcook it so much in this movie. Literally, this is Mandy Moore in the entire film. We gotta get out of here! We need help! What are we gonna do? Like, that's really her entire character. That's all she does in this movie. Like, she overcooks it so much. She is so over the top in this film. And I've liked Mandy Moore in other things, but my God, was she awful in this movie and did such a terrible job. Like, she really was. She was really bad. She acted so over the top. And Claire Holt is the same thing, man. Like, but she's supposed to be like the fearless one. Like, the one that takes all the risk. But, you know, she wasn't that good either in the movie. Honestly, she just really acted kind of just like Mandy Moore. Over the top and over dramatic. So, yeah, I could care less about the characters. And that's supposed to be the point. I'm supposed to care about these characters in this film. But I don't. You know, and they're the ones that are in this crappy situation. I'm supposed to want them to get out, but I just don't care, because they're not interesting and they're pretty awful. The tension, really, for the most part, really, the tension is not there. It really isn't. It's not that good. It's mostly whenever the sharks appear, that's when the tension really isn't there, and it's just really bad, honestly. Like, the movie just is not that scary, really, honestly. There's not really that much tension that's that good in this movie. Like I said, there is some good tension. There were some moments that I did think were pretty suspenseful. But for the most part, really, this movie isn't that suspenseful. And the tension isn't there. The reasoning, the why they're doing this is so stupid. It really is, you know. The reason why they want to go do this, like, you know, shark thing is so stupid. And plus, on top of it, they never explain why the chain breaks. Well, why did it break? Like, they never explain why the chain breaks in the movie, and, you know, it just breaks. That's it. They never explain why the chain breaks, and, you know, why, like, why did it break? Like, how did it break? Like, they never explain it in this movie. They literally don't. They just brush it off like nothing. So, yeah, like, I get mad when, like, details like that are not explained. Like, how did the chain break? Like, how? You're not going to explain that? Alright. We're just going to move on, I guess. Oh, man. And, really, like, I didn't believe that Mandy Moore and Claire Holt were sisters. There was nothing in this movie that made me believe for 1 second that these two had a great bond with each other and they're great sisters. So, yeah, that's another big problem. The story, it's just so bland. Like, the story is just so boring and so bland with this movie. Like, it's so dull. Like, it really is. That's the biggest problem. That, like, it's so dull. Like, just nothing happens, honestly. It's such a dull film, and it's just not interesting story. The writing's not good. It really isn't. The dialogue that a lot of these two characters say are really bad. Honestly, so yeah, the writing's not that great. Like I said before, the movie is really boring. It just moves at such a snail's pace. You know, literally, like, for the first, like, 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, like, nothing happens. Like, literally, nothing happens. It's just stereotypical build up. That's all it is. It's not that great. It really is. Like, the movie is just so boring and uninteresting that you're just like, well, you know, this is a movie, and I'm watching it. Like, you're literally sitting there like that, because it's so boring, this movie. And plus, not to mention that the effects on the shark look really terrible, too. Like, seriously, the effects just look awful on these sharks. They really do. And lastly, now, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen the movie, but the ending to this film is really, really stupid and a big, giant middle finger. Honestly, like, the ending to this movie is really bad. You know, because, here's the thing, the third act of the movie was actually really good. I was really invested. I was like, okay, this is what the movie should have been. Man, this is exciting. I'm so enjoying this. And then the ending just comes and ruins it all. That's, exactly. The ending just comes in and just ruins the entire third act and makes it pointless. Yeah, it's that type of ending where it literally ruins the entire third act and makes it pointless. Seriously. It's that stupid. You know, like I said, I don't really want to spoil it because, you know, I'm not that type of guy. I don't like to spoil things, you know, so, but I'll just say that. It makes the entire third act pointless. And you're like, so that was for nothing. Okay, like, it makes that entire third act pointless, and it ruins that entire third act. The ending is so bad to this movie. This is honestly one of the worst endings of the year. Like, it's so bad, and it's such a big, giant middle finger to the audience. Like, seriously, it's so bad, the ending to this movie. It really is. The ending is so terrible. Seriously, if you thought the movie was bad from that point, this just made it even worse. Like, seriously. The ending just made that entire third act pointless, and yeah, seriously, that's the best way I can put it. It made the entire third act pointless. I was like, wow, you just ruined something good. Nice going, movie. So overall, 47 Meters Down, I think if it had a better writers and a better director, I think the movie could have been actually really good. But the way they take this movie and the direction that they take it with this film is really bad and not that interesting at all. So it's time for my official grade on 47 Meters Down. And my official grade on 47 Meters Down is a D+. It's an awful film. It really is. It's just another shark movie that's just like, yeah, here's a shark movie, you know. It's just another throwaway shark film and just really bad. And I didn't enjoy it. So it gets a D+. Not a good movie. So, if you have seen 47 Meters Down, what did you think of it? Leave the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.